Hello and welcome back to Life Blowout Prevention Project. My name is Anya Gramone, and today I want to talk to you about brain health. Why is that important? Because the brain is a seat of your consciousness. It's a seat of your ego, which is your sense of self, of who you are. It's your executive branch that allows you to not only creatively map a path towards your goals, but make a plan to get there. Your brain health is also really important because of your emotions. It is increasingly found in research studies that your emotional health is a function of your brain health. So the healthier your brain, the more even-keeled and happy and resourceful and the more positive emotions you get to experience. So let's look at what will it take for you to optimize your brain so you can be happy, be productive, be resourceful, and use that noggin of yours in the most effective way. So the first one is nutrition. And of course, everybody knows that food is really important for every part of your body, but brain is especially sensitive, and it does have very specific nutritional needs. So I can give you some foods that it would be a good idea to start incorporating into your daily diet. So avocados, broccoli, berries, coconut oil, eggs, cold water fish like sardines or salmon, walnuts, the spice called turmeric, and everybody will like that, dark chocolate, not milk chocolate. Dark chocolate is really, really important. So those are some foods you can start incorporating into your diet. They're all delicious, so it should be that hard of a sell. And dark leafy greens, those are really important as well. The second one is your negative thoughts. That creates tremendous amount of stress. Stress creates inflammation. It creates a very incoherent signals and firing in your brain, which then decreases your ability to problem solve and just function, and your brain just doesn't work at its best. So how do you do that? You start, first of all, observing your internal dialogue. We have upwards of 60,000 thoughts a day, which is tremendous amount of noise in your heads and in our heads. And we ask many questions, and if you look at the research, that what they're finding is that the majority of these thoughts and majority of these questions are very repetitive. So it's nothing new over there. Start paying attention not only to the dialogue and the language that you use and the words that you use, but also the questions you're asking. Very often the questions go something like that. Why did I make this mistake? Well, the answer is because you're stupid, or because you don't know any better, or because whatever. It doesn't invite a very resourceful message. So identify what your habitual questions are, but also start designing questions that will give you the answers to the things you really want, that will move you in the right direction. How can I take care of this? Who can I talk to? What will it take? How can I grow from this mistake or the experience? Those are the questions that will not only help you come up with creative solutions, but they will also dramatically decrease stress and noise in your brain and will help your brain function much better. The third one is exercise. And please don't get hung up on exercise, because exercise doesn't have to mean you go to the gym or do something really, really difficult. It's any kind of activity that moves your body is going to be important, because when you move your body, you increase your circulation, which then carries oxygen and nutrients and carries away the waste product. So the body gets regenerated and rejuvenated by exercise, and that is not, it does include the brain as well. So sometimes just a perspective on the activity and putting a label on what you're doing and calling it exercise can be impactful. And no, it doesn't involve drinking beer, but I'm talking about actually moving your body. So think about, there was actually a very, very fun study that was done on hotel workers. And when they asked them if they were physically active, they would say, no, they don't. No, if they exercise, they say, no, we don't exercise. We have sedentary lifestyle. But if you've ever cleaned your house, you know how much tremendous energy it takes to clean your house. So think about what it would take to clean 12, 13, 14 hotel rooms. So they took half of this group and they told them that what they're doing either meets or exceed the recommended amount of exercise. And what they found at the end of 30 days was remarkable, that these women not only lost weight, they decreased cholesterol, their blood pressure decreased, a lot of the health markers actually improved, and they didn't do anything different. They just still continued doing their job. The only thing that was different is that they thought of their job as exercise now. That was it. So find some simple ways to incorporate and think about, where do you move? And anytime you do that, think of it, I'm exercising. So move your body, and also expand your range of sort of notions of what exercise is. As long as you're moving your body and your heart rate's a little bit up, it's exercise, so that's good. The next one is nutrients, brain nutrients. So how do you find that out? Is sometimes when you become nutrient deficient, your brain just doesn't function very well, and just regular food may not be enough, especially if you've been not eating well or doing something on an ongoing basis. You may have created a deficiency which just regular eating is not going to be able to compensate for, at least not in a very short period of time. So you may need a short-term supplementation before the food can kind of take over. For example, vitamin B deficiencies are very often associated with symptoms that are similar to schizophrenia. It could be depression, it could be mania, it could be hallucinations, it could be irritability, it could be just that your brain just doesn't function. And like I said before, in olden days, those used to be a realm of psychiatry. Now they're finding a lot that mood disorders and these kind of things are related to brain health. Low blood sugar, for example, can cause a lot of, not just sort of your brain is cognitively not functioning properly, because what happens when you don't have enough blood sugar, such as when you eat too much sugar and your blood sugar drops afterwards, when you eat just high carbohydrates or candy or sugar, what happens is your blood sugar, the body releases insulin, the insulin grabs that sugar, puts it away in the cells, and your blood sugar drops. And what that does, the dwindling supply of energy to your brain, which consumes about 20% of your energy, all of a sudden shuts down your prefrontal cortex, the part of the logical thinking, problem solving, and also the part that controls behavior, and diverts them to your brainstem, which is more responsible for the basic body functions, but also for anger and these kind of more aggressive survival behaviors. So see a functional nutrition doc, see a naturopathic physician, but pay attention to actually remedying your deficiencies. The next one is positive peer group. That is so important, because we are not solitary creatures. We are communal creatures, and it's very, very hard for us to do things in isolation. And it's really important, it's so important that we actually have mirror neurons in our brain. So when we are around people, we try to mirror their behaviors because we want to belong to a group. We want to make sure that we fit in. We look to others for cues on behavior. So be careful who you allow in your circle. There's a reason why they say you become like 5 people you spend most time with, because we mirror other people's behavior. So make sure that the people in your circle are loving, are supportive, they have your best interest inside, they're kind, that they want to see you grow, and they support your growth, your learning, your development. So that is super, super important for your brain health as well. The next one is organization. We talked about it at some point, and you can always refer to my previous videos because I've done some little tidbits on different pieces of this. But your senses perceive all the information, everything you see, hear, feel, perceive, touch, smell, everything that is in your environment. And your brain is a deletion device, because you cannot get all this information without getting overwhelmed. So the brain kind of manages, triages that information, and you get only a tiny little piece of that gets into your awareness. But your senses and your brain perceive everything. What that means is that we're trying to focus on something and try to work on something in a messy environment. It serves as a distraction, and your brain takes tremendous amount of energy to just filter that to keep you on track. So if you can organize your environment, whether it's cleaning your folders on the computer, whether it's cleaning your desk, cleaning your house, whatever it is that you need to clean, the brain then does not have to work so hard. There's no distractions, and it will function much more efficiently, because you can mobilize all these resources in service of what you're doing, rather than having to manage all that mess around and noise around you. The next one is sleep. I do have a video, look at my library, I do have a video on sleep with a little bit more detail, but it's important, really important for your brain health, because your brain, it cools off, it's an electrical circuit, make sure you drink water too. It's an electrical circuit, but also it consolidates information. It consolidates what you've learned into long-term memory. It starts connecting it to other things you already know. It streamlines and strengthens the connection in between. So sleep is really, really crucial for your emotions, for your immune system, but also for proper functioning of your brain. The next one is brain protection. I am a cyclist, and I have witnessed a really horrendous bike accident. Actually, one of my friends, one time we were biking, and he got a head-on collision with another cyclist coming out of the tunnel. He got hit and arrested his fall with his head, and his helmet shattered. If he didn't have it, he would be dead by now. And even to this day, he does have some memory impairment. So the impact of traumatic brain injury is tremendous on your brain health. So it is gold. It is you're nothing without your brain. So please do wear brain protection. I bike all the time, and I see people, families with their kids without helmets, and it just makes me want to go and shake them up, because this is the most valuable possession that they have, and without it, nothing happens. So please protect your head. The next one is learning. Learning keeps your brain alive, keeps your brain making new connections, and it also is exciting. It brings excitement in life. There is a reason why if a child has a brain injury and traumatic brain injury on the right, it's catastrophic. On the left side, not so much. An adult, if they have a traumatic brain injury on the left side, is catastrophic. Right side, not so much. Why? Because most of the learning happens on the right side of the brain. But that's also where most of the emotions are. The joy, the adventure, the awe, all of that. When you see small children learning, it's because they have a really active right hemisphere. And then when the activities become habitual and familiar, and then they get moved to the left side of a hemisphere. And as adults, we often tend to work from memory, from the things we've learned. We always often say, oh, I have 30 years experience. No, you probably have 1 year experience, that you've been doing it for 30 years. So you have a lot of repetitive muscle memory, but you're not necessarily learning more things. So going back and learning something new, whether it's a dance, whether it's a language, whether it's a craft, whatever you want to learn, whatever it will force you to get into a beginner's mode, is going to activate the right side of the hemisphere, along with excitement and all these amazing, juicy, pleasant emotions that kids get to experience when they're young and everything is new and exciting. So that's really amazing for your brain. And the last one is rest. We are machines. We are not designed to run all the time. We need to cool circuits. We need to rest. We need to repair. So relaxation, stress management, make sure that you always wrap up a stress response. I do have a video on that as well, and why that is so important. Because even if we deal with a stressor, it doesn't necessarily mean like a project wrapped up, or you had an interaction with a mean person, or you had a fight and then you said your sorries and it's all over. So you've dealt with a stressor, but the stress response, the physical response, has not wrapped up. Your body speaks different language that your mind does. So you have to communicate to your physical body that the threat, that the danger, that whatever the response was triggered by, it's over and the body came to a safe space. So watch that video, but it's really important that you work into your everyday routine a practice that wraps up and completes the stress response, so the body can come to a rest stop and know it's safe, and it needs to be in body language. So all these things, if you do them, if you start implementing them, every little thing you will do will help improve the function of your brain. Please share this. This is so important. It's not just improving your brain health so you can do more, but it's so you can be happier, so you can be calmer, so you can just have more wonderful experiences in life and more participation, and you feel better in your skin. So share, subscribe, ask me questions. If you have trouble sleeping, if you want to have more information, shoot me an email. If you want to know more about food, shoot me an email. I can help you with any of these areas, and share with others. And I will see you in the next episode of Live Blowout Prevention Project. Until next time.